Hi everyone, I am Nicole and I am your instructor for Marketing 395, Managing Customer Relationships. I've taught this class several times and it's always interesting to learn new perspectives on managing customer relationships based on your experiences and the companies that you choose for your final project. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a minute because that will be in lieu of your final exam. But before I really dove into the meat of the course, I really wanted to just take a minute and let everybody breathe for a second because I think right now it's just so intense. I don't care if, you feel semi unimpacted by the current situation with COVID-19, but regardless, it has impacted everybody's life in some way. And so I just wanted to take a pause and kind of reflect on the fact that we are still having new beginnings and life is still kind of moving forward. And for some, it's harder than others. And we don't, we're in it together, but we're not all going through the same exact thing at the same exact time. So I am sensitive to that and understand that everybody's working through challenges at the moment. But I do want to speak to those challenges in terms of how it applies to this course in some ways, but in terms of your career overall. The challenges are what make us stronger and more competitive and builds us a new skill set through the material in the course, but also through our own personal growth. And the fact that you are starting this class and that you are taking on a new beginning in such a tumultuous time speaks to your courage and your strength and your perseverance to just continue on, because you're here a little bit because you want to learn about customer relationships, but you're here a lot more because you want to grow yourself. And, the people that make it to the top didn't make it without challenges. And so every challenge that we face helps us grow a little more and become more prepared to handle those challenges as we further our careers. So I think the best way to approach this is I'm going to make the most of this. I'm going to challenge myself and I am going to be better on the other side. So I have gone through some personal challenges during this time, with courses that I've taught and things that have just gone on, and how it's been harder. I have little kids at home that, I'm not just teaching you guys now, I'm teaching them too. So I get it. And I know that it's been hard. So I want to congratulate you for starting this right now and continuing on and not giving up and growing yourself. So with that said, we're going to move into the course a little bit. I don't want to take too much of your time because I know it's hard to, if probably not all of you are even going to watch this video, but if you do, I hope that you find it valuable as we move into this course. I always try to do videos, but I feel like the digital platforms are becoming so much more popular right now. That is one kind of side effect of the situation we're in. But it's always nice to feel like we know the person on the other side. So I want you to feel like that with me and as we go through the course, and feel comfortable contacting me if you have any questions about the material or if you just have any questions at all about the course. I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. So as we begin to talk about that, a few things in housekeeping. This is the course that starts on Wednesday, not Sunday. So I have been teaching for some time and I've gotten very used to starting classes on Sunday, or Sunday evening at midnight. So instead of it being Sunday at midnight, it's now the middle of the week. So I want you guys to be prepared. Classes will start on, each weekly content will begin on Wednesday. And the initial posts for your discussion board are due by the weekend for full credit on timeliness. That gives everybody a chance to use their weekend a little more productively and go through the discussions and work on your papers so that it's not at the last minute and you still have that Monday and Tuesday to finalize everything. But for full credit on timeliness with the discussion boards, make sure you post by the weekend so that everybody can use the weekend to respond to their peers. So big change on that one. So I wanted to make sure we talk about that. So in this class, you'll have the discussions and you'll have the writing assignments and the weekly content. I think, most of you have done the academic integrity module. If you haven't, just make sure you complete that. Not only do the module and take a screenshot of the certificate, but put a simple Statement of understanding, that can be in the comments that you place right with the submission of the certificate, or you can submit a second Word document with a short paragraph just giving me a statement of understanding in terms of the academic integrity policy for the university. It's very simple. Just that's something that's due the first week of class so that I can make sure I can give you credit for everything else that you do. So, managing customer relationships really just talks about how we identify, retain, and grow our customer base. And we'll go into concepts such as customer loyalty and data collection and privacy and those kinds of things, and what that means in terms of how we manage customer relationships. I think right now, I always say that customer relationships, yes, there's a huge bank of data that we collect, but it's really about the people, whether the people are the people that work for us or the people are in our target market. It's all about how we build that connection through people. And the more data we have, the easier it is for us to understand what's important to our customers. But it's not just about the data collection and the numbers, it's really about how we build relationships. So, right now, more than ever, I think we're seeing a shift in how customers manage their purchase decisions. And it's not anymore the same weight placed on decision factors. And you've probably had classes where you talked about, the level of involvement in customer decisions. I think right now we are seeing a dramatic shift that will probably course correct over time. But at the moment, we're seeing a dramatic shift to trust. And some people will be willing to pay more, and there will be a higher level of involvement in terms of evaluating the level of trust they place in a company before they make a purchase or even frequent a place. If they feel like it's not safe or if they can't trust them to make all the necessary precautions, that will not happen. For instance, you might have a favorite burger joint that you've always gone to before, and there's a second burger joint that you kind of like. It's pretty good, but you know that they have impeccable standards in terms of hygiene and cleanliness, and that will make a difference right now. So just think about that as we move forward and really understanding what it is that our customers are valuing and how we can make them loyal. So I think that covers it. There's a short little clip on the week 1 discussion, and we'll talk about what is a relationship and what does CRM look like in terms of the program aspect. And I'll also be looking for your introduction. Some of you, I noticed in the roster that I've had you before, so I'm excited to see you again. And others, I'm looking forward to getting to know you. We have a large class, larger than normal for this particular section. So there will be a lot of input on the topics through the discussion boards. So welcome to Marketing 395, and I will promise my videos will not be this long going forward. I try to keep them short, but the first week is always a little longer just to get the introduction in as well. So I'll see you guys on the discussion board. Have a wonderful week.